Welcome. It's Dawn Duval with Shall We Stamp coming to you live from the villages of Florida. I am going to load in the comments, so welcome, welcome. Please come on in and take a seat. Have your water, cocktail, whatever it is that you might be drinking. Come on in. Please make sure that you say hi. Let me know where you're from, if this is your first time. And if you're watching this on the replay, please make sure that you leave a comment, as well as those that are on live, as the video will stay open for a week, and then I will submit names to the random comment picker and draw two winners that will receive the cards that I do each week. So make sure that you do, make sure you leave a comment. I'm tongue-tied. Leave a comment and share my video. So welcome everyone. I think I have the comments on. Let me make sure. There's a little bit of a delay there. There we go. Hi Faye, you're not doing your Bible study this evening, huh? Welcome that you can watch us live. Hello Debbie, how are you? So if you are, make sure that, as I said a minute ago, make sure that you share, make sure you comment and share the video, and your name will go in the drawing for the cards that I'll be making. And if you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you're not on, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go to Shall We Stamp on YouTube and subscribe, and make sure you hit the button, the little bell, so that you'll be notified when I upload videos. And this video gets uploaded to YouTube after the Facebook Live. Well, not right after. It takes me a day or so. I'm a little slow. Actually, this time it's a week because I haven't uploaded last week, so I couldn't find my video. So, hello everyone. Hi Kay. Hi Karen. Oh, staying warm, yeah. All right, so let me just give you our weather update here in Florida. It's about, I'm not sure quite what the temperature is now. It's in the probably mid to high 50s, which I know you guys think that's not cold, but is cold. I got socks on. I have my leggings on. I have a shirt, long sleeve shirt. Yesterday I was wearing a sweater, which I never wear. You know, it's very rare that we wear sweaters. But anyways, thank you for sharing. It's crazy. It's just crazy. We're not used to this cold weather. Whoops, my little thing, my wire got away from my microphone. We'll move that in just a minute. See if I can stay there without moving. Sorry about that. But anyway, so let's see. What's the rate? Let me think of what the latest and the greatest is. I had something that I was going to tell you, and now I completely forgot. I guess that's a sign of old age. Let's see. I was going to tell y'all something. Now I don't remember what it was about the weather. Yesterday it was cold. I know it's going to be 40 here on Sunday. I was at the mailbox yesterday, and I had on my coat, my big winter coat, boots, gloves, and a scarf. And this man gets out of his golf cart. He comes up to the mailbox. He's got shorts on and a short sleeve t-shirt. And I looked at him and I said, "Let me guess, you're from up north." And he started laughing. He goes, "Well, how did you know?" I said, "Look at me. I'm dressed for winter, and I live here, and you must be from up north because you got shorts on." He started laughing. He thought that was funny. I can't hear anything, y'all. You can't hear me? Are you serious? All right. Can y'all hear me? Well, let me turn up. Let me see if we got volume here. I thought we do. Hold on. Do I not have volume? Can you hear me now? Lord have mercy. Okay, let's see. How's that? Is that working? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Someone said they couldn't. I'm rambling on like y'all can. Yeah, it's 56. Okay, it's 56 in St. Petersburg. So, now can you hear me? I can hear now. Okay, it's me. Okay. I don't know. My little microphone thing's flickering, meaning that it's listening. So I just turned the volume up on my iPad, which it probably doesn't need to be up. Okay, good. That's Amy. That's my BFF for you. So anyways, it's cold and we don't like it. And I actually put my dog's, she has she has a raincoat and she has a winter coat that she'll wear once in a while. Well, yesterday it was so cold, or the day before, I put a t-shirt on her that I had bought, that on the back it says, "I'm sexy and I know it." I swear to God, that dog loved it. She was laying on the couch and she was snuggled all up and just didn't move. It wasn't bothering her. And I was like, oh my goodness. My husband was like, can you believe that? I'm like, no. So anyway, sorry, that's my wire from my microphone. Anyways, it's just craziness. Well, anyway, so I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you all for taking time from your schedules to come watch. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down. We're going to make 3 cards this evening, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Let me flip the camera for 1 second. Let me get you down at the table. There we go. And I'm going to move my microphone cord. Okay, so this paper is our, it's in the Valentine suite, and this is True Love Designer Series paper, and this is all black and white, and I'm sure y'all have seen this around. So I am going to do, it's a very simple card. So if you're just starting out, this is something that you might want to consider. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. This is a very simple card, and it's called the Spotlight Technique. And if you're new to stamping, this is a very simple card, and it's a great way to use up your Designer Series paper. Now, isn't this gorgeous? Now, I colored all of this, and what I did was pop it up. I put a piece of black behind it. I used the stitched circle framelit and colored it, and then I popped it up, put it on a piece of a 2.5 inch circle, and then popped it up on dimensionals, and then put some of the Just Jade ribbon. So I am not going to color. I've colored most of the one for this evening, but I left a few spaces open as I didn't think y'all wanted to sit here and watch me color. Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. We got a couple people here from Wisconsin, and Linda's here from, Linda, where are you? Linda Carver. You are Indiana, maybe? Oh, I can't remember. I'm sorry. I can't remember. But thank you. So y'all are in the cold. So this is a card that we're going to be making. So this is another thought. When you buy this paper, you can color it. It's got all sorts of different designs. Some are a lot closer in the black and white scheme, but it's all black and white. And the back sides are like pretty neutral type with you're watching eating dinner. So anyway, so that's a good way to get your coloring if you want to color, and then use that for making cards. So I'm gonna put that off to the side. So this is the card that we're gonna be making, and we're using the Just Jade cardstock, and that's 8.5 by 5.5, and of course we're scoring it at 4 1/4. And then the sentiment that I'm using is happy birthday to you. And I'm using this from the best year. And I believe this one carried over from last year, if I'm not mistaken. And it's got some really good, let me get this down in the camera. So sorry. I'm adjusting everything. I got to get used to it. It's got some really good sentiments. Obviously, the best year. It's got thank you, hip hip hooray. It's got a Christmas one for dad, birthday, wishing you the best, and every thoughtful thing you do. So anyways, that's a nice set. I might be doing a class with this. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, okay, so this is what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to change it up just a little bit. We are going to still use our card base of Just Jade. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half and get that scored. And I want to make sure I've got my ends lined up, and then give it a good burnish with my bone folder. And if you're new, or if you're a beginner stamper or someone with not a lot of experience, let me know, because it helps me for designing my cards, because I want to make sure that I'm doing things that appeal to everyone. Okay, all right. So the next thing, what I did, now this card, now see, here's the back side of this particular paper. It's the same one that we used. Okay, so it just gives you some other. And then this one, I think I'm going to do it this way. I think we're going to do this one in a portrait. And what I did is I went ahead and colored everything but the 2 flowers right here and one of the leaves. So I didn't want you to sit there and watch me color. So that's all I'm going to do. And then I've got my black circle. So this card's not going to take very long for us to put together. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and add this to our card. No, let's don't do that yet, because I'm going to put some ribbon behind it. So let's don't do that. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to color. I'm going to color the these 2 bigger flowers in Poppy Parade. So I'm going to come in with my dark and just do the center. Let me make sure I'm in the camera. Can y'all see that? Let me zoom in just a little bit. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get zoomed in some. I can always bring the camera down if I need to. I'm going to color the inside with the dark, and I'm just going to do some flicking where the artist has done those little lines, and just put a few there. And then we're going to do the same thing on this one. And then I'm just going to come back with the poppy and color this in, and then we'll color the leaf, and then for the most part, this will be done. And then we're going to take our light color, and you know, there's no right or wrong way to blend. Everybody has their own technique, so it's whatever works for you. I like to put the dark on first, because then I can come in and blend it with my light color. Some people do it the other way, and that's fine. And if you leave a little white showing, that's okay too, because it could look like the sun is shining. So, you know. All right, so we're going to color these in. And one thing I want to let y'all know too is I think I'm going to set up a group page. I was talking to one of my demonstrator friends up in Virginia, and she suggested that I should do this on a group page. And the reason for that would be everything is kept, as far as the videos and everything, if you want to come back, it'll be a lot easier to find it than me doing it right from my business page, which, you know, then you got to start searching. So I will let you know that. I'll send the information out and let you know what the site is. I've got to set it up and give it a name. So it's probably just going to be Shall We Stamps Card Classes or something like that. You know, Facebook Live or something. So that way it'd be easy to find. But just want to let you know that I'll have that probably done before next Tuesday. So I thought that was a good idea. We hadn't chatted in a while. We had our team meeting, my uplines team meeting, and we were on Zoom. And she texted me while we were in the meeting and said, "We haven't talked in a while. I'll call you tomorrow. Do you have time?" I said, "Sure." So we talked for an hour and a half. Can you believe that? And I'm just going to cover over this right here. I'm not going to worry about that. Now I'm going to come back with my dark. Whoops! I just got ink on me. I'm going to come back with my dark, and I just want to darken these up just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more depth. All right, so that's it. And then the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to color the leaf, and I'm taking the dark and I'm just going through the lines here. And then we'll come back in with the light, and I'll just color this one leaf. So this card's not going to take very long at all, because I didn't think y'all wanted to sit here and watch me color the whole flower and the leaf and everything. And this is Shaded Spruce, in case you want to know what color that is. And I use Purple Posy, Daffodil Delight, and Rococo Rose on here. So that's all the coloring I'm going to do. So I know we need some bright colors, don't we? We need to get into the spring. We need to get ready for spring to come. All right, so we're just going to put some Tombow on that, or multi-purpose glue, however you want to call it. Now, the one thing you've got to do once you and you don't have to cut this out. I did because I wanted to pop it up. You could just color a section of your paper, and that would be fine as well. So the one thing that we want to do, all right, now first of all, I'm going to put some of this. This is the new Gorgeous Grape sheer ribbon. So I'm going to put that under there because we've got some of that Purple Posy, and I think that might bring it out. So I'm just going to lay this down. Let me move this thing out of the way because it's sliding all around. And if I haven't shared this, I'm going to give you my secret. If you're going to tie a knot, you want to wrap your ribbon 3 times the width of your card. And if you're going to do a bow, then you want to wrap it 4 times, okay? So that gives you enough that you can tie a bow. So we're going to tie a bow today. So let me go ahead and cut that and move this off to the side. And we'll tie a bow, and then we'll adhere this to the front of the card. And what I normally do is I tie my ribbon and get my bow, and then I slide it down where I want it. It's a little bit easier that way. And I've got, hang on a second, I got a little bit too much this way. And of course, again, everybody has their own techniques, but this is what works for me. And then I've learned to flip things over. And then if my bow, which you've probably seen, sometimes I tie them backwards. Don't ask me why. And so when I do that, then I just take it off, slide it off, and then slide it back on. All right, so there's our bow. And then I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to hold the knot just a little bit so I can tie it, pull it in a little bit because it's a little bit too big. And this one I got a little bit short, but that's okay. It's still going to work. All right, so we're going to do that. So you can tell I've got, my thumbs are in the way. All right, so see how my bow, I've got my tails going this way. So I'm going to slide it off so my tails face me, and I've got a short one, so I may end up redoing it. So I'm just going to take it off and slide it in this way. It's just easier. And I think it's because I go over instead of under maybe when I do the bow itself. I was reading somewhere, and I'm thinking I might do that. But anyways, it's easier for me to just do it this way, and I don't have to mess with it again. All right, so let's pull this one down a little bit, and then we'll trim up. And I just thought that that might look nice to pull in some of that purple. And I'll just go ahead, since that one's short, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one a little bit short too. All right, so there's our bow. Now we can go ahead and add our adhesive, and I'm going to slide this down. So I'm just going to use my Tombow and come around with that. Make sure I'm in the camera. And I do want to go around the circle, just make sure we get that adhered as well. Okay, so let's bring in our card base and try not to get glue on my fingers because you know me and the glue. All right, so we're just going to lay that right there. I'm going to pull this down before I get this on here. Let me get it situated. And then I'm going to pull my ribbon down just a little bit. I think it'll like just about like that. Okay, now, so the next thing that we need to do is, let me burnish this one more time because it doesn't want to stay flat. Okay, so we've got that on there. Now the only thing you want to do, we're going to put some dimensionals on the back. So I'm going to put probably just 3. Let's do 4. We'll put 4 dimensionals. All right, so let me take those off. And now all we want to do is we're going to line up our flowers. So we just want to make sure we line them up with the paper and get them so it's all in the right spot, right? So let's see, we've got to figure out where, oh, this one goes right here, I'll bet you. Let's see if that's right. I think so. Let's see. Nope, that's going to go, let me see, hang on a minute, give me a second. Nope, that one's not cut. I didn't think it was going to be this hard. All right, there's a leaf there. Is that it? Nope, nope, nope. All right, let's do it like, all right, you know what? We're going to go with, I think that goes there. That looks like it. Yeah, that goes right there. So that's what we're doing. That goes right there. So we're just going to pop that in there. All right, so there's our card. And that's very quick and easy. Isn't that cute, though? It just kind of brings it, just it kind of does that, what they call the spotlight. And then, you know, you can pull whatever color out of there that you want. And I just thought the grape would pull out on the purple posy. So, yeah, it's an easy technique, Kay. All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment on the inside, and I'm just going to do the use the same Just Jade. This is one of my favorite colors. I love green, and this is just going to be a birthday card. I just sent out birthdays for the neighbors for the month. Well, I haven't sent them all out, but they're due. All right, so there's that, and let me close this up, and we'll add that to the back of our inside of our card, and that's Uno 1. Uno 1. There's the first card. That way, if somebody's coming in late, they didn't miss a whole lot. But that's an easy one. Very easy. Use up your designer paper. You know, we tend to hoard it, so you want to use it up so everybody can see it. And that's a pretty paper anyways. That's going to be beautiful for Valentine's Day, right? Black and red. So there's our first card. Very simple. All right, so there's that one. Make sure you comment and share the video so your name will go in the drawing. And, okay, so let's move on. Give me 1 second. Let me wipe my stamp off, and we'll get this one out of the way. And while I'm moving around, let me tell you the names that were drawn for last week's cards is Rosalie. She lives in Fruitland Park here in the Florida. And then Denise Veldenoci, who is down in St. Pete. I have both of y'all's address, so you don't need to send those to me. And I will get these cards to you in the mail, most likely tomorrow. Okay, so congratulations, ladies. All right, so let's move on to, let me move some of the stuff out of the way. Okay, so that's card number 1, so we're going to put that one off to the side. Now, the next one we're going to do is I'm not even sure, it's called a pocket card. I've not done one of these. I'll show you in just a second. I'm trying to get my stamps organized over here, because I've got to do a lot of stamping on this one. All right, now this one, and you've probably seen these. This is the first time I've seen this kind of a pocket card. This is using let me get it out here because I know some of y'all, I'm sure most of y'all have probably seen this from the celebration catalog, but this is one of the sets that you can get from free, and I think I used this last week as well, if I'm not mistaken. This is Berry Blessings. You can get this in celebration. It's $100, and you get the stamp set and this designer series paper. And I want to show you before we get to that, and I know I showed you before, but I pulled out the 6 sheets just to give you kind of a quick. Y'all told me because I was doing it wrong. Those are raspberries, right? Strawberries. We've got blackberries, blueberries, which we're going to use this evening, a combination of different light colored strawberries, and then strawberries and blueberries. Isn't that some pretty paper? And then the backs are pretty neutrals. So these could be really, there's some leaves, looks like seeds, but these really could be used for masculine cards, especially that one, and that one, right? Okay, so let me move these out of the way, but that's the paper that we're using. And this is the card that we're going to make. Now, have you all seen this pocket card? So it's a flat card, and then it slides in like that. Isn't that cute? I hadn't seen that. And I realized that when I cut my triangles, I think you have the option, you can put these different ways. I put them longer, but you probably could make them shorter. So we're going to go through the steps on this. Let me put this down so y'all can see it. We're going to go through the steps on this and show you how to do it. I just thought this was a really cute card, and then I stamped the envelope to match. So, all right, so that's that card. I'm going to set that off to the side so that we can go ahead and get started. Bear with me one second while I'm moving my stuff around. Okay, let's see. All right, so we are going to be using Pacific Point ink and paper and shaded spruce. So those are our ink colors. And we're going to use the blueberries. Thank goodness they brought back some of that baker's twine, the white baker's twine. Yeah, really, this should be a staple in our craft room. Don't you all agree? We need to let Stampin' Up know that needs to stay. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to give you the dimensions, and then I'm going to have to do a little bit of scoring. So let's move these guys out of the way for just a moment. I have to get my directions out because it's the first time I've made this card. Okay, so our base is Pacific Point, and this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. All right, so we're going to set that one right over here. Let me put that right there. All right, now the second piece, you want to use a coordinating color. And this is going to be at 4 by 5 1/4. So 4 inches by 5 1/4. That's going to mat on there like what we would normally do, okay? So that would go like that. All right, then we want a third piece of cardstock, which you want it to coordinate with this piece here. And this is going to be for our rectangles. And this piece is 4 1/2 by 3 7/8. Okay, so it's 4 1/2 by 3 7/8. We're going to put that one right there for just a minute. And then our designer series paper. Now, if you don't have any particular pattern, then you're just going to cut it at an angle. But if you have a pattern, you want to keep that in mind before you cut, okay? And this piece here is 3 3/4 by 3 1/8. So 3 3/4 by 3 1/8. All right. And then our inside piece, it's a little bit shorter. Now, you can make it a little bit longer, but I'm just going by what they did, and then I'll show you on my card. I put a little glue dot on the bottom to hold it together. So this piece here is 3 3/4, so 3 3/4 by 4 5/8. So it's a little bit shorter. Now you could make it a little bit longer if you wanted to, but you want to be careful because you don't want it to slide through the bottom. And I'll show you when we do this. I'll put a glue dot on there to hold the bottom together. Okay. So this is what we've got that we're going to work with, all right? So let me pull my paper trimmer in because we're going to need to do some cutting and scoring. And then this one we're going to put off to the side because we need to, we're going to stamp that before we adhere it. All right, so our piece right here that is going to be the base for our triangle. So we want to cut this at an angle. So we want to cut from the right to your left corner, okay? So I'm going to put my right corner up, the right tip right here, and then I'm just going to hold my finger there and slide this down to where I get this in the track of the cutter. Okay, and then sometimes you might just you're gonna have to ooch it over just so that you make it, that you get it in there. All right, so we're gonna cut that down, and that's gonna start our triangles. All right, so I've got my triangles cut. Now, what I could have done, let me pull my card in and show you. I took my triangles and I placed them, now we're gonna score this so it folds over, but I placed the tall one up like that. I think we could do a shorter and put it like that if you wanted to. So I'm thinking that would cover both sides. So I'm thinking we may want to, I don't know, maybe I'll go with the top one because that's going to hang off. So maybe that was not such a good idea. Well, we'll see. If I score that, hang on. Let's see if we score it. Let me think about this for a second. We score it. We're gonna score it at a 1/2 inch. That might work. Let's try that. Okay, I'm gonna score this at a 1/2 inch. Okay. And I'm going to put the long part so it goes through to help close. So I'm going to line this up at a 1/2 inch. And we're going to score this piece right here. We're going to do that on both sides. Okay, so this one, whoops. Get my card out of the way. Let me make sure I'm on the 1/2 inch mark so I don't mess things up. Hang on. All right, so we're at the 1/2 inch. There we go. All right, so we'll put that down. I keep moving it. Hang on. I get excited making cards. Can you tell? All right, so we're going to put that there. Okay, there we go. Hold that down. And we're going to score this at a 1/2 inch, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just confirm my notes. Where are we? Score. Yes, we're going to score it at a 1/2 inch. Okay. All right, so we have a 1/2 inch there. And then we're going to bring this one in. And we're going to do the same thing. Because I'm going to do it on the short side because I want my long side. And I'm going to bring this one over to a 1/2 inch. And it really doesn't matter which side because we can fold it whichever way we want, right? So I'm going to do that and score that one. Okay, so that's all we've got to do right now. Well, let's go ahead and then we're going to cut our paper. So this, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our paper here and here. And then we're going to cut this from angle to angle. We've got point to point, right? So let me just turn it just a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and cut those up. All right, so that's going to be our triangles. Okay, so we're going to take these pieces and we're going to fold over and burnish. Now, so what we're doing, now this one, see how it's going to go longer this way and it's going to be shorter up there. So I want this one, we're going to fold this one over this way. It's going to fold backwards, right? Because we want it to go behind. All right, so that's how our card's going to go, just like that. All right, so let's go ahead and burnish this. And then I'm going to add some adhesive. And I'm going to use my, now I think I'll use my liquid glue. Because that way I can shift it around if I need to. All right, so we're going to put some liquid glue on here. Just on this piece here. And that's going to go on the back. Which all of this is going to be hidden once we put this on our card base. Okay, so there's my... And I'm just going to lay this down. Let me get in here so y'all can see. I'm just going to lay this down and I'm going to butt it up and just make sure it's even on the bottom. And once I've got it even, then I'm just going to push it down and adhere it right there. And then this is going to fold over, okay? And then we'll do the same thing on this one. So let's go ahead and put some adhesive on this one. And we'll do that. Or you can use your seal, whichever. But I think in this case, it might be a little bit easier because you want to be able to get this on there, right? You want to slide it on there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lay this one down just like we did the other one. We're going to butt it up, make sure we're lined up at the bottom. And then we will fold it over. Give me just a second. I want to make sure my bottom's in there. And pull this one back just a, oops, see my bottom. I just want to make sure we get it in there just right. And we'll fold that one up. See, it's moving on me. Hang on. That's why we have to use that liquid glue. There we go. All right, so we've got that one there. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to put our, right? So we're going to put our designer paper. And we can do it whichever way. So we could do it like that. But I'm going to do... Let's switch it. Let's do this one here, and then we're going to do this one right here. So the difference, and after I get this on here, I'll show you what the difference is. So let's go ahead and add our adhesive. So I'm going to do one side, and that's the nice thing about this paper, because I really like the back side. It's really easy, so you don't have to cut extra paper you can just cut the one piece, and then you've got both sides that you can use. Let me get my tweezers out because I don't want to get glue on my fingers because it drives me crazy. All right, so we're just going to lay this one down here, and we're going to have a little bit of a border. So we're just going to lay that down, get it positioned, and we're going to bring it down some, and the liquid glue lets us do that. All right, and then we'll do the same thing on this one, but this one we are going to place it like that. So we're going to cover up, unfortunately, we're going to cover up these beautiful blueberries and get some adhesive on that. And we'll place this one down. I had not seen this card. Have y'all seen this type of card before? I like this. I thought it was very unique and very different. I like to do the different things, you know. I like to do stuff that's different. All right, so we've got that right there. Okay, so there's our card. So now all we've got to do is we're going to attach that to the inside. But before we do that, we want to wrap our ribbon because that's what's going to help hold this down. I mean, our twine. So we're going to take our twine, and I am going to, hopefully I can do this, so give me a second. I am going to wrap this twice, and I usually, I've tried this before. Some of y'all might be better at this, but I like the way it looks, so we're going to give this a try. So I'm going to lay this under here, and we're going to wrap this around, and we're going to tie it into a bow. So let's see. I think I should have enough right there. So let me go ahead and cut this in case I need. I think that should be enough. All right, so let me go ahead. I doubled it up, and I'm going to tie it in a bow, and then I'll just cut the one loop. And again, once I get it tied, then I'm going to come back and adjust it down where it needs to go. So let me just get that here. This will help be your closing mechanism. And then I put a glue dot on the bottom, and I'll show you that in just a second. Let me get my things here. All right, so do y'all have problem tying bows, or am I the only one? It seems like I always have problems tying bows. And then I'm doing double whammy here. Let's see if I got it pulled. There we go. Nope, I didn't do that right, did I? Nope. Hang on a minute. Let me do it again. Hang on. See, I show you what not to do. That's the one thing I'm good about. Come watch me. I'll tell you what not to do. See, some people are much better at tying bows than others, and I, for some reason, and I even keep my fingernails short because sometimes that can be a problem. And I don't know, maybe it's just the way I do it. You know, I don't think anybody ever taught me how to tie bows. And so I'm going to cheat and use my tweezers to pull it through. There we go. That works. And then I can tighten it. Okay, there we go. Oh, look. Dadgummit, I pulled the string through. All right, one more try, you guys, and then that's right. It's a comedy hour, so just keep on laughing. Hang on a minute. See what happens? Oh, Lord. All right, give me a second. Now I've got a knot in here. See, when I try to be smart, like I know what I'm doing. All right, let's try this again. I'm going to pretend that you guys are not watching me. I'm in my own little world, doing my thing. We're going to get this on here. We're going to get this time, right? 3 times. Okay. Well, one thing I've got, hang on a minute, a string has gotten not the same length. That's part of the problem. All right, we're going to blame it on the string. Here we go. All right, this is it. So, and if y'all have a secret to this, let me know. All right, we're going to tie it, and then we're going to adjust it. All right, here we go. We're going to try it again. She's going to hold it down, and we're going to try to push it through. There we go. Ta-da, 3 strikes. See, 3 times the charm. There we go. Isn't that perfect? Okay, I'm going to slide him over just a little bit, and I'm going to pull these down just a little bit because the bows to me are a little bit too big. And pull that one down. All right, this is a loop, so I'm going to trim that one. That's where I doubled up on the string. All right, I think that looks good. And let me go ahead and get my scissors, and let's just trim these up just a little bit. I kind of like them long, so we'll leave them a little bit longer than, there we go. All right, so 3 tries. That's okay. It worked. When you can't tie one. When you want to tie one, you can't. Oh, I know. Tell me about it. Okay, so there's our card. Now we're going to decorate. But see how it kind of still pops open at the bottom? And I don't want it to pop open. You could if you want them to open it, but I don't. So I'm going to put a glue dot there. So let's go ahead and get this adhered to our card. And I think we'll just use our liquid glue. And then we'll decorate our insert. And I'm going to put some glue here and make sure that we've got it on there really good. Okay, so we're going to take that and attach that to this piece here. And get that on there. And we should have a little bit of a border. Let me get it so I can see it without putting my head in the camera. All right, there we go. Okay, very good. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little glue dot right here because I just, I don't want that thing popping up, and that's just me. So I'm going to put a glue dot to hold it down. Now, you don't have to do this, but that's what I'm doing. I want it to hold down like that. Now, there's still an opening here for that, for your card to come through. Now, we're going to decorate this, and then we just slide it in there. But isn't that cute? I just love this. All right, so let's get our inks out, and let's go ahead and do some stamping. And I've got, let's pull in our blueberry, Pacific Point and our shaded spruce. All right, and you know, this stamp set is a 2-step stamp set. I'm not going to do it on the leaf, but the blueberries we will. All right, so this one I'm just going to stamp the leaf, and I'm only going to stamp 2 of them. I'm going to stamp one full strength. Whoa, good thing I didn't get that on my card. We would have had to flip it over. Okay, so I'm going to stamp at the top. Let me get my stuff over here so I can get to it. I want to make sure I'm still in the camera. Yes, I'm back in the craft room, and we'll be here. We'll be home until the end of February, and then we're heading down to Palm Springs. Does that sound right? We're going to go there for 5 days, I think, and then we're heading to Key West. We always go to Key West and stay on Stock Island, which is a lot of fun. So anyways, so I'm going to stamp this. Yeah, so we're going to be going to Key West. We're going to take the doggies going with us. We'll take our bikes. And the nice thing about it is the bus stop is right outside the campground. And since we're seniors, if you're over, I don't know what they consider a senior, but I qualified. And we pay, I think it's $7 or $8 for the both of us to get a week on the bus, so we can get to go as many times as we want. And that's I think that's pretty inexpensive. The only problem is if you decide to go down there and stay later than when the bus runs, you have to pay to get, pay to come back, which kind of blows it because you spend more money for an Uber or a cab or whatever. So, but yeah, we'll go down there and hang out. And there's a lot of really nice restaurants within walking distance. I don't know, obviously, if we'll do that unless they have outdoor seating. And I just got ink all over my fingers. I just want y'all to know that. I've got ink, so hopefully I don't get it on the next card. All right, so let's put this green away because this is, and I don't have any of my wipies in front of me either, which I should have. Okay, so now we're going to do our blueberries. I know I'm talking. I found earlier when I did this, I found that if I do the, these are the blueberries, the circles that are see-through, that you can see through. I'm doing this first because I found it's easier to fill them in than to do it the other way. Now, I'm not sure if I'm doing this right when I stamp these little guys here, but I'm going to do my best. So I'm just going to stamp some on here and we'll see how it goes. All right, so because I know it's got these little things there. You can tell I'm obviously not a gardener. Oh shoot, let's just go for it. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna stamp one here. Hopefully those two will work. And then we're gonna come back. I'm gonna stamp. Let's see, how do we do this? Let me think about this because I'm gonna do. Let's do it this way. I'm going to stamp 2 there. I'm probably not doing this right, but it'll be okay. All right, let me stamp the insides, and then we'll come back and fill in. All right, so I've now stamped it. So I'm going to come back, and all I've got to do is line it up with my the holes that I just stamped, right? And hopefully I can get them lined up so I can see and fill in the circles. And we'll do like that. See, isn't that cute? I got off just a little bit, but that's okay. It'll look like it's a shadow. It's no big deal. And then we're going to do the same thing on this one. So we'll stamp that there. And remember, I got on the edge. So look, now I'm going to go back because I can see through my stamp, right? So I can go back and redo, I can fix this by just hovering over it again. And I'm going to stamp it because I was leaning on my craft mat and I filled it in. And let's go ahead and I'm going to do, let's just do one off to the side. Let's do this. Let's put this one here. Do we want to do a little one? No, let's do this. Let's put, oh shoot, why not? Here, let's just do this. We'll put these two little guys here. Let me boot that one again. I'm stamping off the paper. I got my craft mat down there again. Hang on a minute. Let me get that in there. And I'm off the paper. Okay, there we go. And I think that's good. I think we're good. Do I need any more? Yeah, I think we better because it looks kind of naked. Looks a little naked. So let's do, and I'll have to come back and fill it in with the other guys. Let's do, we'll just do these right here. All right. And we'll come back and try to circle them. Okay, so you just got to line them up. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. You know, I'm some of you might be perfectionists, but I'm not, as you can tell. And I've used to tell my ladies in my classes that they, you know, you got to let that stuff go because it will drive you crazy otherwise, because you just got to let it go, right? Otherwise, you drive yourself crazy and you spend all night trying to fix, you know, whatever it is you're trying to work on. So I just don't let it bother me. I just go with it. So, okay, so there, look at my fingers, and we still have one more card to do, which is a white card. That I probably should have done that one first. All right, so we're going to stamp our sentiment on here, and I am going to stamp in the Pacific Point let me get it the right side up, and this is from the same stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it right up here where we have a little bit of an opening. You always have a way of making my day. All right, isn't that cute? All right, so we're gonna push these together and get these out of the way. Oh, we'll decorate our envelope. Let's do that. And then this part will go right on our card. We'll stick that right in there. There you go. Whoops. And now see what I mean about how it's gonna fall through? So what I'm gonna do is I'm now going to take another glue dot, and I am going to place a glue dot holding my inside of my card. I'm putting it right on the edge. I'm just going to put it right there, and that's going to hold it down. Where's my glue dot? Oh, it's still on my scissors. Hang on. All right, there we go. So that's going to hold it down. You could probably put another one, but I don't want it to fall through. So there we go. All right, and let's just do a quickie. Let's just do a quick envelope decoration. So let's pull these back out. And where's my leaf? Let's stamp our leaf again. I got ink all over me. I can't believe this. Let's see. Let's go ahead and stamp this one. Let me get in the camera. All right. Oh, we're doing good on time. Okay. And then we'll get our blueberries out again. And we'll see how much more ink I can get on my hands. All right. So let's stamp these little guys. And this one I'm going to stamp about like that, I think. Do they hang up right upside down? I don't know how do blueberries hang. Do y'all know? Are any of y'all farmers or grew up on a farm? And then I'm just going to hover over these again and stamp it down. There we go. And then we have our envelope all decorated. All right, so let's move this out of the way. I tell you, blue and greens, man, oh man. Let me just clean these off just a minute. Give me just a second, ladies and gents, if there's any gentlemen on here. I just want to clean so I don't wear this again. All right, so let's move these over. Okay, so there's our card. What do you think about that? Isn't that cute? I like that. And then we can decorate our matching envelope. I am just wearing ink all over me tonight. Okay. All right, so 2 down and 1 more to go. So give me 1 second. I need to move all this out of the way. I gotta bring my other stuff in, so I'm gonna do some shifting here. Give me 1 second. Let me pull these in. Hopefully I don't get ink all over these cards. All right, the next one we are going to do is the art gallery. So let me just shift things around for just 1 second and get all of this stuff out of the way. Put this over here and bring my stamps in for those. We're going to do, now we're doing flowers again, and I went ahead and, let me get this out of the way. I went ahead and pre-cut and everything but one, and because I didn't want y'all sit here and watch me color. So we are going to make this card here, and I thought this was really pretty. This is, we're using thick, now this is the old Thick Whisper White. We do have the basic white in case you all are wondering, because we did have issues with the manufacturer decided they went out of business, and of course there's no notice given to Stampin' Up. So they were scrambling, trying to find a place, another manufacturing company to do our Whisper White, which has been around forever from my understanding. So, all right, so we are going to make this card, and we're using the Art Gallery, one of the new stamp sets, and it's a photopolymer. And then we've got the Floral Gallery dies, which there are 7 dies that we're going to use. Well, we're not using all those tonight, but we're going to use those. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're on a Thick Whisper White, and I did this at 5.5, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we have a second piece of regular Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Now, what I've done, and I hope I don't get ink all over this. What I've done is I've taken a piece of the new ombre paper, which is you can also get that for free in the Celebration catalog. I guess I should have brought the catalog so I could have showed you that. The ombre paper is absolutely gorgeous. So what I did was I ran it through the 3D embossing folder that is part of the Art Gallery suite, as well as the Whisper White. So I ran that through to give it some texture. Can y'all see that? I think you can, like that. And then I ran this through there as well. And this, I'm going to cut it down, but I'm just going to put a strip right here on the edge, and then I'll trim it off, okay? So I just wanted to do that so I know I've got enough room. And then in one of the little dies, the back side of this is Rococo Rose, if I'm not mistaken, or is this Purple Posy? I can't remember. This is Granny Apple Green. We're going to use Daffodil Delight and Mango Melody and Memento Black ink. And then we're going to use the new matte black dots that's in the catalog. These are really nice. All right, so we're going to do that. Now, I've went ahead and stamped everything except for we've got 2 flowers, and I went ahead and cut the leaves out. We're going to do 1 more leaf and 1 more flower, and I'm going to move this out of the way because I'm going to bring in the baby embossing. Isn't this precious? Isn't this the cutest? I love this little thing. It's so cute and it's so easy to use. So I'm going to turn it. Let me just turn it this way. Let me get out of the way here. Hold on a second. All right, so we're going to let us stamp. And of course, look at the little, I'm sure y'all, if you don't already have this, you have to get one. But here's all the items, and each one tells you how to use it. And they're numbered, which is unbelievably wonderful, okay? So you've got 1 and 2 2s and a 3 and a 4. So we're not going to use that one because that's not for what we're doing. All right, so this one is for embossing, which we're not going to do. Maybe we do need number 4. Oh, that's for the big ones. That's for the thick embossing folders. We don't need the instructions. So this one we're going to use, and then these are our 2 plates, okay? All right, so first of all, I'm gonna set this off to the side for just a minute because we do need to stamp our flower and our leaf. So let me get my Daffodil Delight, and I cut this down. I think it's right at 3 inches. It's about 3 1/4. We'll get it through the baby. I call it a baby boss. I don't even know what's Stampin' Cut emboss machine. It's a mouthful. Okay. So we're going to stamp the first part of the flower. Let me move this out of the way too. Hold on a second. Let me get some of this out of the way. Okay. We're going to stamp the big flower in Daffodil Delight. And I'm only going to cut one of these and but I just wanted you all to see this, okay? So we're going to stamp this down in Daffodil Delight. All right, so we've got that stamped. And this is another two-step stamping. Let me put that over there. And then we're going to come back in. Let me move this out of the way. Then we're going to come back in and we're going to use the Mango Melody to fill in the thing. Now, if you can see, you can line up this, see this hole right there, and there's a hole there. These two little guys are towards the bottom of the flower. So let me just show you. It's going to lay right on top. You just have to do a little twisty, and it's going to lay just like that. So I'm going to push it down. I'm going to get it lined up, and it's not going to be exact because it's not supposed to, right? It's supposed to just be another fill of your flower. So we're just going to set that down, let it sit for a second or two, and we'll pull that up. All right. And then the next thing we're going to do is pull in our Memento Black, and then we have this little baby insert piece, and we're going to, and I don't like it full strength, so I'm going to stamp off just a tad. I think it's a little too dark. And then this one, again, you can kind of get a feel for where it goes. So I'm just going to stamp it on there. All right. And that's our flower. And you know what? I just realized something. Where did I do with my dies? Did I bring them over here? I got the machine. Hang on a second. Where are my dies? Hold on a minute. I'm going to have to. Oh, there they are. They're in my die thing. All right. So we're going to take this one out for the flower. And then we're going to pull this one out for the leaf. Hang on a second. Let me pull it. All right. So we'll get those. I'm trying to be organized and keep all my stuff. I just bought all those plastic folders to keep them. I've had them organized, but I never had them in a folder because sometimes they'll come a little loose. So you want to make sure you keep your dies organized. All right. And then we're going to just use, there is a leaf that has the insert, but I'm not using that one. And I'm just going to use this. I'm going to stamp this in Granny Apple Green. And then we're going to run it through the Baby Boss machine, and we're going to cut them up. And I think I'm going to stamp off just a little bit on this one because I think that's a little too dark. And we'll just stamp that right there. There we go. All right, so we'll put that over there. Let's move the inks out of the way. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so the nice thing about Stampin' Up's dies, if you've noticed from when the old dies that we used to use, and let me pull this thing back in, is that our dies will hover. So when we lay this on here, they have a real close covering. They come really close in to, so before when we used to cut our dies with the other manufacturer, they would always leave a little bit of a white range, right? Well, this one doesn't. This one, they really hover. So we just have to just get this in here. I'm going to lay it down. Hope y'all can see that. And I'm going to get it positioned. And I think that looks good about like that. Okay, so let me get my little thing in there. This is so, I just love this. And then we're going to do our leaf. We can do these at the same time. So we're just going to lay him on here as well. And get him covered up. Whoops, hang on. And this one we don't have, you know, we had they did have a magnetic plate, but it wasn't working quite right. So they ended up pulling that, and they're going to have to work on that. So anyways, you can use your washi tape or whatever. And then now we're just going to roll it through, and I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to do it left-handed, so bear with me. I'm not a lefty. And look at that. It just goes through so smooth and everything. Isn't that cool? This is perfect for traveling. I've already said I'm going to have to, I've got to tighten this down. I've already decided that I'll just have to try to bring stuff that fits. And then we push these little guys up. And look at that. Isn't it just a little cute little baby thing? It's precious. I think it's $60. I think it's a good price. It's a good deal. And if you decide to join and be a demonstrator and get a discount, then you can add that into your starter kit if you choose to do so. All right, so here we go. We've got our dies, and then we have our two little things cut out. Now, those of you that may be learning how to stamp, you are going to see these impressions on the plates, that's going to happen. That's just the way it is. Can you see those impressions? I don't think you can because of the lighting. But anyways, it's going to leave these marks, and that's okay. It's fine. And then after a while, you'll just have to replace them. It just depends on how often you use them and how, you know, how often that you will have to replace them. You need a baby boss? Well, Karen Joe, you need to buy one. Might as well, girl. Get it and start cranking them out. Okay, so let's put, I'm going to put my dies over here out of the way. All right, so I'm going to bring my card back in. So now we have all of our pieces. And again, we're using the Whisper White, thick Whisper White. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this. And I'm going to get it creased. And hopefully the ink on my fingers does not come off on this card. If it does, then I will make a new one. So whoever gets this card will not have an inkied up card. Okay, so we're going to set that off there for just a moment. And then we are going to bring in the one that we've embossed. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Now I think I want, I put the light, let's do this, let's do it this. No, I think I like it. I like the dark. I want the dark at the top. So I'm going to add this on here. I'm going to leave a little bit of a space on the side. And then I'm going to trim this up. Sometimes I like to do it this way because that way I know it covers. All right, so we're going to go ahead. I think I'm going to use my seal because that way it's textured and we'll know we'll get a good coverage, okay? So we'll just go ahead and stick this one on here. And this ombre paper is really, really beautiful. And again, $50 purchase, then you would get this. You could choose this as one of your free gifts. So Karen, if you ordered the baby boss, then you could purchase it. You would get a free celebration item of $50 value. All right. Okay, so we've got that on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and come in and trim this off. All right. And we'll get that out of the way. And we'll trim this one off. This is easier for me. That way I know it goes right to the edge. Because sometimes you cut the paper and you think it's right. And then you go to adhere it and you've got a little bit of a separation. There's a little gap. And that kind of drives you crazy. So I just love this embossing folder too. All right. So there's the, that's added. Now all we're going to do is we're going to put dimensionals. Everything is dimensionals tonight. So we're going to add dimensionals to the back of all of our flowers. And then we will start putting this together. This is really easy. I think the hardest part is just, and I don't even want to say that it's hard. It's just that, if you want to call it time consuming, it's just you got to stamp and then you got to run it through the machine. But it's really not that bad. Once you figure out what you're doing, that's my biggest challenge. When I sit down and figure out my cards, I spend time researching what it is I want to make. And then by the time I get done, I've spent an hour doing that, right? Unless I find it along the way. I try to keep copies of things that I like that I can then do for class. And let's see, one of these I'm going to chop off. I think it's going to be this one. So I just, I try to save things so I'll have it for class. But sometimes I don't. So today normally I try to have this stuff done on Mondays. Well, I didn't get it done until today. And I think the dog just woke up. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to just start figuring out where I want to put my flowers, right? So we just want to make sure we don't go off the page because we don't want to. All right, so we're going to I'm going to probably do it similar to what I did because we only have so much room on the card, right? So we'll put one. Let's go ahead and put this one down here because I know I want one here. And we'll kind of put them straight. And then we'll add this one. And depending on where, you can use your adhesive. I like my dimensionals because it's going to give them a little bit of dimension. And we're going to place that one. Oh, let's place that one right there. Now this guy, let's see, this one here, I'm going to cut off this leaf here because we don't want that one because it's going to be hidden. All right, so I'm going to put him, and I may cut him down. I want to get him in here. So put him like right about that so they're kind of a little bit closer together. Let me see. Hang on a minute. I need to move him down just a tad, I think. So and it really, however you all want to put this together, it's, it's your call. That was not going to be seen, right? So let's peel this one off. It's kind of like putting a jigsaw. I've been doing jigsaw puzzles on my iPad, and that's been a lot of fun. And this one, I'm just going to kind of try to stack. I think I'm going to put it underneath to make it look like this one's over top. But I don't want it to look like it's right out on top. Let's move it over just a little bit. What about like that? No, that still looks, let's turn it. Let's turn it this way. See, I've got my glue dot under there, so I got to make sure that I get this where I want it. Let's just go like that. Let's turn it a little bit. Let's do that. All right, and then this one. I know, isn't it funny? You got to sit there and figure out hemming and hawing which way you want to go. I know, and y'all are saying, Dawn, just put the daggone thing down. And then this one, we're going to slide under here. I'm going to put my leafy right about here. Because, oops, hang on, I got my glue. Actually, I don't think I need a dimension. You know what? We'll leave it like that. We want him to be seen. And this would be fine because I don't think that's going to go over the page. I am going to put probably a little bit of a little dimensional underneath that once we get it on here and down. All right. And then this one's going to be a little bit lower. So I'm going to probably do it about like that. Yeah, I think I like that. That looks good. And that's not going to be over very much. I think we'll be fine. All right. So I'm going to take and trim up a little. I'm going to cut a baby dimensional, or it's a mini dimensional. I'm going to cut it in half because I want to put one right under there, right under this right here, because this one's kind of sticking up. So I'm just going to cut this in half, just a little tiny piece, and pop that down so that that little stem holds down. And we're almost done. It's 8 o'clock. I'm right on time. I think we'll be just a couple of minutes after 8, and we'll be good. We'll be good to go. So I'm just going to lay this right underneath. Whoops, hang on. I got to get my paper off of it. I'm going to put it right underneath the stem, right there, and then pop that. Whoops, if I can get it off my finger. There we go. And hopefully we'll get that under there where you don't see it. All right, there we go. Okay, so there's that. Now, I think I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals as well, because I just think it might be a little bit much, but I think it will be cute. And then we've got our sentiment here. So on the sentiment, I'm going to stamp in Memento Black, and it's going to be a thank you card. I don't know about y'all, but I need thank you cards quite a bit. So we're going to do thank you. And this is one of the sets the dies that we're going to cut out our little tag. And we'll put that right there. Okay. All righty. Almost done. Put that over there, out of the way. We're going to pop him up. This is called the dimensional card. It's full of dimension. All right, so let's put, actually, let's do 2 minis on this one, just because it's so much smaller. All right, so we got them. And then we're going to, whoops, where's my card? Oh, here it is. All right, and we'll put dimensionals on this one. We're going to pop it up. I think it just adds to it. It just adds. And that makes it so much fun. And I always put one in the middle so it doesn't sag. You could put 2 on each side if you wanted, but I think this will be fine. So we'll just peel these off, put them in the trash. Do y'all ever find, I know you do, you go walk around the house, the next thing you know, you got dimensionals everywhere? I find them all over the place. It cracks me up. And I'm in here in a separate room. I'm not even in there. Okay, so we're going to lay this on here. And of course, again, we're using the dimensionals, so I'm just going to lay this down with my little border. And see, our stuff is hanging over just enough that it's not going to hurt anything. And then we're going to add our sentiment, and then our card is finished. So here's 3 easy cards. Well, somewhat easy, I think. Don't you agree? And we're not quite done. Hang on, we got to put our little black dots. Okay, there's that. Now, let's pull these guys out. These are... there's 160 in this package. There are 2 sizes. You got small and like a large size. And we're just going to take, I'm going to just use my my snips. And I'm just going to pull a couple of little ones in. I'm going to add that. And I think it helps pull the black in from the inside of the flower. Let's put one right there. And let's put one over here since this kind of looks naked. All right. So there is our... art gallery card. Let me get all of this mess out of the way and pull in our cards that we made. And I'll pull in the ones that we made. Okay, ladies, there we go. There are the cards that we made this evening. Our spotlight card, and you can really do this with any, you can spotlight anything you like. This is our art gallery, and then this set here you can get for free. It's Berry Blessings through our celebration catalog, and this, I just love these. So thank you again for watching me this evening. I greatly appreciate you taking time from your busy schedule. If you don't have a demonstrator, and if you need anything, please let me know. If you don't have a catalog, message me. I'll be more than happy to send you a catalog as well. And again, thank you so much for spending Tuesday evening with me. I really appreciate your support. And thank you again, you all. Have a nice evening, and I will see you next Tuesday. Have a good night and stay warm. All right, bye, everyone.